Merci beaucoup Christelle Mbaesso qui va continuer à monitorer pour nous cette actualité autour du concours d'entrée en 6e du côté de Bafoussam dans la région de l'Ouest. On va rester dans le cadre de l'information tabloïde en anglais présenté par Rita Macan.
Thanks for watching Tabloids of this May 18, 2021. We begin our press review today with tech news promoting ICTs. Cameroon Tribune tells us that the Chinese reaffirm support. Prime Minister Joseph Dion Goutey yesterday, May 17, 2021, received a delegation of Huawei Group led by the outfit's Northern African President, Terry He. This audience was in line with celebrations marking 20 years of the mobile telephone in Cameroon. The Chinese group offered some equipment for intelligent conference to the government of Cameroon. We remain with Cameroon Tribune, which continues today with its series on the 20th May celebration. Today, the Bilingual News Daily points out Army assurance in defending the territory. According to the paper, the COVID-19 pandemic, which has been threatening the country for more than a year now, has not hindered the defense and security forces to accomplish their principal mission of protecting the integrity of the national territory and, of course, the protection of persons and their goods. On the other hand, the weekly newspaper Terre Promise looks at 49 years of the unitary state and reports on achievements and threats. According to the weekly newspaper, due to the coronavirus pandemic, the National Day on May 20 will be celebrated at a low key as last year. The paper adds that even though there will be no popular celebration, the 49 years of the unitary state must be an occasion for every Cameroonian to think about the achievements and threats of the national unity. Let's have Le Quotidien newspaper today. The Daily talks about the humanitarian mission of Cameroon to Bata during the March 2021 explosion, and headline: civil and military personnel decorated, deployed by the head of state to comfort victims of the March disaster in neighboring Equatorial Guinea. This civil and military personnel who successfully accomplished their mission yesterday received medals from the hands of the minister delegate at the presidency in charge of defense, Joseph Betty Assomo. In economics, public-private dialogue, L'Économie newspaper today headlines: Dion Goutey at GICAM today. According to the paper, the Prime Minister, head of government, will discuss with businessmen and economic operators on various topics. Amongst these issues will be the economic recovery plan in the Northwest and Southwest region. Let's now talk about the financial market with Camer Press newspaper, which zooms on the performances of our banks. According to the weekly newspaper, 4 bank institutions control more than 50% of the Cameroonian market, which is worth 6,000 billion CFA francs, with Cameroonian Bank at the head. The paper adds that the small and medium-sized bank appears less attractive, according to statistics from the National Credit Council, with 0.15% of the market. Camer Press does today presents the 2021 ranking of the Cameroonian banks. Read all these on page 5. of today's edition of Khmer Press. On to Eco Santé newspaper, which informs us that food crisis hike hit Yaoundé as socio-political crisis lingers. According to the daily newspaper, some traders in Yaoundé have linked the current increase in prices of basic food items across markets in the city to the COVID-19 pandemic and the Anglophone crisis that have been rocking the northwest and southwest regions for close to 5 years now. Get the details of this story on today's edition of Eco Santé on page 4. Macron-Biya Cold War crosses the Rubicon today. The Guardian Post newspaper got interest on the Cold war in quotes, which appears to have been ranging on between President Paul Biya and his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron, that has once again showed its ugly head, according to the Guardian Post newspaper. The paper actually backed up this point on grounds that by some strange happenstance, President Paul Biya, a key ally of France, has been sidelined from the France-Africa Summit, which opens today in the French city of Paris. Catch the story on page 5 of today's edition of the Guardian Post. Let's end our press review today with some sort of burial calendar of Anglophone icons. Let's have the Sun newspaper, which talks of transition. Anglophone icons begin journey to eternity. Honorable Emilia Monjowa Lifaka of Fakou in the Southwest region, Saturday, May 22. Monsignor James Toba, Friday, May 28. Senator for Emeritus Victor Mukete, May 29. The very right Reverend Dr. Nyasako Ninku, Friday, June 11. His Royal Majesty Chief Honorable Emeritus Norbert Mbile, Saturday, June 12. And Right Honorable Senator Simon Ashidi Ashu, whose date is still to be published. And that does it for today's edition of Tabloid. We thank you for being there. Stay tuned to CRTV News.
Military and civilian personnel that constituted a delegation dispatched by President Paul Biya last March 14 to provide humanitarian assistance following a bomb explosion on March 7 in Bata, Equatorial Guinea, have received medals of distinction. The award of medals range from the dignity of a commander of the Order of Valor to the Knight of Cameroon Order of Merit. Among the civilian and military personnel are 8 state media professionals, 5 from Cameroon Radio Television CRTV, and 3 from Cameroon Tribune. The event was chaired by the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, Joseph Beti Asomo.
Fête de l'unité nationale, les forces de défense et de sécurité dans le Nord-Ouest sont au chevet des populations victimes des affres séparatistes. De plus en plus, elles gagnent les cœurs et la confiance de ces dernières par la remise des dons de diverses natures, au rang desquels des fournitures scolaires, des denrées alimentaires et des produits de première nécessité.
The Minister of Sports and Physical Education is inspecting sports and hotel facilities in Bafoussam, one of the host cities of the 2021 African Cup of Nations. Minister Narcisse Moelle Kombi, accompanied by the West Regional Governor, will visit all the sites earmarked for the competition. He is in the West Region for a 4-day visit.
Le conseil régional de l'Adamawa et la mairie de la ville de Ngaoundéré impulsent le développement au niveau local. 14 mois après l'élection de l'exécutif communal dirigé par le maire Bobo Saliou et 100 jours après la mise en place du conseil régional conduit par le docteur Mohamedou Dewa, de nombreuses infrastructures ont été réalisées.
Voilà, c'était donc les Top Stories qui plantent un tout petit peu le décor de l'actualité de cette journée de mardi. On va dire quelque chose en économie parce que la page éco de cette édition, c'est dans quelques instants. Mais avant, je rappelle qu'il y a un nouveau programme triennal entre le Fonds monétaire international et le Cameroun pour la réalisation d'un projet qui rapporterait pas moins de 375 milliards de francs CFA à l'État du Cameroun. On va rester dans la continuité de l'économie avec Beatrice Ngoum qui est avec nous. Alors Beatrice, on va commencer par le forum d'investissement africain qui va se tenir en Turquie.
Yes, Cathy, just to remind our viewers that one of the major economic news for the day is the Africa Forum that will hold in Turkey. You know, just months back, the Minister of the Economy, Planning and Regional Development received in audience a Turkish ambassador who came to invite enterprises in Cameroon for that business forum. So enterprises in Cameroon are expected to be part of that come together where there will be some B2B exchanges between enterprises in Cameroon, from Cameroon, present in Turkey, and other enterprises coming from other countries around the world. And then we'll continue to talk about...
Avant de continuer, est-ce qu'on peut avoir une idée du type d'entreprise qui va participer à ce forum?
All kinds of enterprises are invited at that forum. Now, it depends on who will be selected because not all will go there. Mm-hmm. But those who will be selected will be privileged to be part of that forum in Turkey, and they will certainly get some interesting partnerships there with other enterprises from across the world.
D'accord. La suite, c'est une éventuelle inauguration d'une carrière ici à Yaoundé.
Yes, it's situated in the Nyomtou neighborhood of Yaoundé. It's been there for some time, and it's using stones to produce construction material that a lot of Cameroonians downtown Yaoundé are using to construct their homes. And that quarry or that construction site or that stone extraction site will be inaugurated today in Yaoundé, in the Nyomtou area.
Très bien. À présent, on va revenir sur la célébration des 20 ans de la téléphonie mobile au Cameroun. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut retenir de cet événement?
Well, Cathy, to say that 20 years of the mobile telephone network in Cameroon is worth celebrating. We are going to be talking about the features of the features of the mobile telephone in the country, and talking about the features. We're going to be focusing this morning about things like the GPS, the musical player, the camera, all the components of the mobile telephone.
Il y a vraiment beaucoup d'évolution.
Exactly. There's a lot of innovation too in that domain, because we keep getting gadgets every day, gadgets that come in with a lot of options for different things. You play music, you download things, and all of that. So we are going to be this morning focusing on what that has really changed in the lives of Cameroonians. Acquiring these gadgets 20 years after, what has really changed in our lives? Have we just used it to propagate hate speech, or are we making use of these gadgets in our lives? And Cynthia Saptala is going to be explaining to us how Cameroonians are appropriating the mobile network.
Its appeal comes from the freedom it provides, being able to communicate with anyone, found anywhere in the world. From luxury item reserved for a privileged class to mass subject facilitating communication for all, the handphone is today essential for most Cameroonians.
Nowadays we have mobile data, so we can have access to the world by our smartphone. Many Cameroonians have the ability to build their project, to learn by internet, to propose their services abroad.
From the time of the Motorola brick to the smartphone, the economic impact has been enormous. A 2016 report from the Telecommunications Regulatory Board indicates that revenue from mobile phone operators contributed over 3.25% to the GDP.
The first impact is the creation of jobs. The second part is the contribution in tax.
Though countless jobs have sprung around the mobile telephony, experts say it is same for investment opportunities.
We can have a large integration of the population in the financial sector. That will help to mobilize easily the financial institution to finance more efficiently the small and medium-sized enterprises, for example.
20 years now that mobile phones have improved communication, social inclusion and productivity in the territory, and experts add that as technology continues to evolve from 4 to 5G data services, so too is the potential to further impact development.
Voilà, Béatrice, pour ceux qui sont vraiment à la pointe de la technologie, ils sont vraiment servis parce que chaque jour, il y a des nouvelles options qui sont mises sur pied par des marques, hein, les marques qui se font des concurrences vraiment farouches. Et maintenant, on va parler de l'avènement de la 5G.
Yes, Cathy, just to say that the mobile phone has helped or contributed enormously to transform our economy. And when we are talking about transforming our economy, we are talking about the use of the 5G, the coming of the next wireless standard, which is the 5G network. We are talking about how we are going to be implementing that in our countries in the months ahead, or possibly in the years ahead. Now the ball is in the court of the Ministry of Post and Telecommunications, and they are working on that project so that Cameroon can see its economy transformed or its economy boosted through the 5G network. And when we are talking about the economy, we are talking about all sectors of the economy here. So transforming our economy using the 5G network, using the mobile telephone, and the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication is already on that project, and Beatrice Losamba caught up with them to find out what are they doing to make sure that the next the wireless network comes into effect.
The Internet of Things. Experts say this is the appeal of the 5th generation network, 5G.
Imagining that we have 5G in Cameroon, we will now have very fast data rates on our mobile and other access devices. Almost everything will start becoming intelligent. You have a fridge that can understand that your food has a problem. If you're trying to lose weight, your fridge should be able to tell you how many calories are in your fridge. 5G can give glasses to blind people, driverless cars that are possible with 5G.
It sounds like a digital transformation countries might not be ready just yet for. Cameroon says it wants to look again before it leaps.
Those last 5 years in Cameroon, we moved from 3G to 4G. This brings many challenges. We need to master them before thinking about moving to 5G.
Infrastructurally, the country has walked a mile to 5G.
50,000 kilometers of fiber covering the whole place, and almost every big city in Cameroon has a fiber ring. It's the backbone. The next thing now is the cell sites.
And 5G is an ambition Cameroon nurtures to expand its mobile ecosystem into new realms.
That they're already working on it.
Vraiment. On va fermer cette page de la célébration des 20 ans de la téléphonie mobile au Cameroun, cette fois-ci pour parler de quelque chose de plus simple, le tourisme. On va se rendre à Kribi, dans la région du sud. Là-bas, les activités reprennent petit à petit.
Yes. We know that with the coming of COVID-19, that's the pandemic, the tourism sector was one of the sectors that was
l'un des secteurs d'ailleurs les plus menacés.
Exactly,
lors de la pandémie.
We saw people being laid off from their jobs. We equally saw some companies or some structures closing up because the
les hôtels de moins en moins fréquentés.
Yes, because business was no longer good. Even in the on the beach, those who were there selling things, trading, they were complaining that business is no longer good because people are no longer coming for tourism. But there is good news because that sector is beginning to boom again. They are talking about more and more people trooping into Kribi now for tourism activities. And one of our reporters down in the south, Polycarp Atier, visited the Batanga site where a lot of tourism activities is being carried out, especially during the weekends. And this is what he gathered.
Dengoye, Tara, the Lobe Falls, as well as some private beaches in Big Batanga are always jam-packed with people, especially during weekends. Tourists and visitors who come from far and near visit these beaches for different reasons.
To communicate with nature, stay with family, speaking in front of water, it is an exceptional moment.
Many families and friends prefer to carry out outdoor activities in calmed beaches like Tara and Big Batanga.
And actually I like to come to Terra Plage. We are coming with the family, with kids. So the huge space, it's ideal.
Natural endowments like the Lobe Falls that flow into the Atlantic Ocean and the white sandy beaches are a center of attraction to some tourists and visitors who want to make discovery.
The nature of the waterfall just pleases me a lot because in Northwest region we don't have sea.
Apart from beaches, seafood, coconut and other natural endowments like the equatorial rainforest are factors that attract tourists and visitors to contribute most in the socio-economic development of the Ocean Division.
A lot is happening in the beaches these days.
Vraiment, ça donne l'envie de passer un merveilleux week-end à Kribi, au bord de la plage. En tout cas, peut-être qu'on va avoir l'occasion de programmer cette escapade. On va terminer donc cette page éco par le chiffre du jour, 1,482 milliard de francs CFA.
Yes, Cathy, 1.482 billion francs CFA. That's the amount the AFDB, that's the African Development Bank, has injected into giant projects in Cameroon for the past 3 years. They were first at 900 billion, now they are talking about 1.482 billion CFA francs injected to support government achieve some or realize some giant projects.
Voilà, ça sera tout pour aujourd'hui. Merci beaucoup, Beatrice.
Merci aussi, Cathy.
Et à mardi prochain.
À mardi.
Salut à tous, tout l'honneur est le nôtre de vous savoir au rendez-vous de Tabloïd. La santé n'a pas de prix, mais elle a un coût, dit-on. Alors, priorité ce mardi 18 mai 2021 à EcoSanté qui nous dit qu'en santé militaire, Joseph Betty à Somo met la grande muette au petits soins. Le quotidien met en exergue 2 points. La gratuité des actes de consultation de tous les personnels militaires et civils relevant du MINDEF. La réduction des frais des actes médicaux pratiqués dans les formations hospitalières militaires. À retrouver donc à la page 8. Et puis, le journal n'oublie pas de nous rappeler qu'hier était journée mondiale de l'hypertension artérielle. Un homme sur 3 en souffre au Cameroun et en meurt également. Une situation inquiétante qui concerne 35% des adultes camerounais et on nous dit également dans le journal que 17 000 Camerounais en meurent chaque année. Il y a lieu de contrôler ce que nous consommons. Et comme du lait sur le feu ce matin, le quotidien Mutation surveille l'accord qui mijote entre le FMI et le Cameroun. Pourquoi le pays sollicite encore le Fonds monétaire international? À lire à la page 7 du journal. En négociation en tout cas entre les deux partenaires. C'est un programme de plus de 75 milliards de francs CFA. Plus de détails dans Mutation qui se demande où est passé le comité de suivi du grand dialogue national. Sans doute moins en vue en ce moment. Comparé à Yaoundé 1 en pole position dans le classement des universités africaines francophones. Page 6. CGPS 2, les choses se précisent, ainsi titre le quotidien ce mardi. Hier s'est tenue à Yaoundé la 5e session interministérielle chargée de l'assistance du prestataire, du suivi et du contrôle du projet de mise en œuvre d'un système informatique de gestion intégrée des personnels de l'État et de la solde. 2 prestataires ont été retenus au terme donc des travaux, l'entreprise camerounaise Afritech pour l'assurance à la maîtrise d'ouvrage et la société tunisienne CIMAC pour la réalisation des fonctionnalités de base. On se souvient qu'en mars dernier, une mission majoritaire du Cameroun était à Bata, en Guinée équatoriale, lors de la catastrophe, eh bien, des personnels civils et militaires ont été décorés hier par le MINDEF, Joseph Betty Assommo, et parmi donc les heureux de ces décorés, les équipes radio et télé de la CRTV. On va dire félicitations à ces braves messieurs et dames. Unité et intégration toujours dans le quotidien, vivre ensemble la longue marche de l'État-nation au Cameroun. L'éditorialiste Jean Atangana refait l'histoire ce matin dans le journal. Et sur la fête nationale qui sera donc commémorée sans parade dans 48 heures, voire un peu plus maintenant, Cameroun Tribune invite à lire le 2e volet sur sa série ouverte donc hier, Défense du territoire, l'armée assure, titre donc ainsi Cameroun Tribune, car malgré la pandémie Covid-19, les forces de défense restent au front et accomplissent leur mission régalienne de protection de l'intégralité du territoire et de défense des personnes et des biens. 2 pages y sont consacrées ce mardi. Et le journal nous rappelle qu'hier lundi, les candidats au baccalauréat technique ont subi les épreuves sportives. Ils ouvrent donc ainsi le bal des examens officiels. Tribune d'Afrique à présent. Dans Tribune d'Afrique, Tribune d'Afrique ouvre ses portes, ou du moins les portes de l'Assemblée nationale, pour nous dire comment les membres du bureau manipulent là-bas le président de l'Assemblée nationale, Kavayegue Djibril, sur les rapports conflictuels entre le PAN et son secrétaire général. Tribune d'Afrique explique qu'il s'agit en fait de la manipulation de 2 questeurs et du contrôleur qui serait à l'origine donc de ce climat délétère. Ces derniers, selon le journal, veulent contrôler la Chambre basse. Le même climat est traversé en ce moment à la mairie de Baganté. Pour rester toujours dans Tribune d'Afrique, Tribune d'Afrique parle donc ce matin de baiser de Judas entre Ketcha Cortés et Eric Niat. Les détails à lire dans la parution de Tribune d'Afrique, donc de ce mardi 18. Cameroun Presse à présent, l'hebdomadaire Cameroun Presse, l'économie, l'hebdomadaire économique donc s'incruste dans le marché financier ce matin pour révéler les performances de nos banques. Le classement des banques camerounaises cette année et les 4 plus grandes institutions bancaires et la situation de la banque des petites et moyennes entreprises sont à lire dans la parution de Camer Presse de ce jour, tout comme les contours de la rencontre du Premier ministre Joseph Diangoute avec le JICAM. Ce mardi, le journal Camer Presse donc annonce qu'entre dans ces échanges-là, le plaidoyer pour les régions du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest seront donc au centre. Un grand format, en tout cas, à lire également dans l'économie quotidien. L'économie quotidien, le journal de Thierry Ekouti parle de dialogue public-privé entre donc le chef du gouvernement, Joseph John Gauthier, et les hommes d'affaires camerounais. Plusieurs sujets seront sur la table et le plan de relance économique dans le nord-ouest sud-ouest aura une place prépondérante. Nord-ouest et sud-ouest encore, et cette fois avec le quotidien The Sun. On va donc s'incliner devant les icônes avec le quotidien The Sun de ces deux régions, les icônes qui nous ont donc quittés, celles-là, ces icônes qui ont donc déjà tiré leur révérence. The Sun fait un florilège d'hommages de 7 pages à ces grands hommes et à ces grands hommes politiques et religieux qui ont donc fait l'histoire du Cameroun à leur manière, avant bien évidemment de nous quitter définitivement. Et voilà donc, c'est sur cette pensée triste mais remplie de symboles que nous mettons un tabloïd de ce matin, la une de vos journaux. On espère avoir stimulé en vous ce mardi une envie de lire. Eh bien, si vous adorez l'odeur de l'encre, vous n'avez qu'à vous rendre au kiosque pour vous procurer au moins un des journaux vus ce matin. On vous souhaite bon mardi et on espère se retrouver demain, mercredi. Bonne journée à tous.